Welcome to this episode of Connecting Cherokee. I'm Amber Holcomb, Realtor with Atlanta Communities, and today's guest is Mike Sena of Mike Sena Advisors here in Cherokee County. So welcome, Mike.
Glad to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, glad to have you. So I know Mike through the Woodstock Business Club and the Cherokee Toastmasters. So the more I got to know Mike, the more I got to like him. So he's on the show today so he can tell everyone about his business. He is a fee-only certified financial planner and runs his own firm serving clients all over the U.S. So Mike, tell us a little bit about Mike Sena Advisors.
Well, I think the first thing I'd like to say is a number of people still don't know what fee-only means. And essentially it means I don't sell insurance, annuities, or securities. What people engage me for is to help them with comprehensive financial planning and managing their assets, their net worth, helping them figure out and navigate the ups and downs of financial life.
Okay, so so people will bring money to you and say, hey, help me grow this, help me protect this.
Yes, and generally speaking, I'll tell folks I make my money managing money, but the value I bring and other fee-only certified financial planners, it's all in the planning. And the planning is something, it's kind of squishy and nebulous. You really can't touch it. It's something you have to experience over time. And I think if anybody thinks back over the last 2 or 3 years, there are at least 3 or 4 situations that came up where a little bit of planning would have made a lot of difference in the outcome.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. So you're a published author. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
I had a blog. Once I started my business, 2008, 2009, I was pretty prolific blogging, and I repurposed the blog into a book.
Smart.
It's 48 little short stories, 2 to 3 pages each. It was titled, Raise Your Hand If You've Ever Done Anything Stupid with Money. What I want to do is retitle the book, cross out stupid, and write human above it.
Okay.
It's just stories of life and money and what was taking place in America at that time. The Great Recession was taking place and a lot of people were hurting. My first objective was to entertain and then inform.
Okay. Well, that's wonderful. So one book, and then you said you want to revise that and put it back out, or like
I may
do a new version.
I have another book I've been working on that's called The 1% and Can I Join?
Yeah.
It's so much of what takes place with money is mindset and habit and being happy, not only being comfortable, but being happy living on less than you earn. If you've got those 3 things in place, you will be fine no matter what. So it's more of a workbook and a guidebook. What does the 1% do? How do they get to where they are? And most of them, they live simply, they live on less than they earn, they invest the rest, and they have a good life. They are grateful for the blessings they have.
Okay, I like that. So you helped organize a TED Talk.
Yes.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about that.
I've got a really good friend from Cherokee Toastmasters, Steve Monahan. Steve was a Fortune 100 executive and retired a few years ago. He and I have been friends and mentors for a number of years. And we wanted to do something. We wanted to find a way to tap into this community of Woodstock and Cherokee County. There's a vibe that just is almost electric throughout this particular community. It's really unique. It's very different. You don't find it in Alpharetta. You don't find it in Roswell. You don't find it in Canton. But Woodstock, it was kind of neat. So I was thinking of doing a storytelling program at Woodstock Arts. And Steve got the idea of doing a TEDx Talk. He went to TED. He downloaded the license for TED. And we filled out the license and we were accepted. And it started off as about a 4-month project that extended to 6 months, and then COVID came in. Let me tell you, I learned so much about so many different things. Once COVID hit, everything ground to a halt. And instead of Woodstock Arts, we were going to hold our in-person event at Mad Life in downtown Woodstock. And we could not do that. The fundraising, the sponsorships, it all dried up. We were involved with a woman named Gina Carr. Gina was our speaker curator and like our chief executive officer, kind of running the show. Gina is a Harvard MBA. She was a big wheel in Woodstock years ago. She now lives in Orlando. She came up with this idea of having a TEDx Dupree Park weekly Facebook TV show. And we had guests on from all across the world. We had speakers, we had sponsors, we had team members, and we had experts from a number of fields. It was a great primer for using Zoom, for using video. One of the things that I wanted, I love emceeing events. I'm a pretty good MC guy. That was my thing. I don't have any real desire to be a TEDx speaker. We were able to hold an in-person event in November of 2021 at Woodstock Arts. We had so many memorable talks. We had a guy, a rabbi from Jerusalem, fly all the way to Woodstock, Georgia to give a TED Talk. And I met people I never would have met in any other way, any other walk of life. People so far above my pay grade. It was a terrific experience. I tell people today, I'm really glad I did it, and I'm really glad it's done.
That's fascinating. And it's right. When you expose yourself to something new, you never know what you're going to learn, who you're going to meet, how you're going to grow from those experiences. Yeah. It's a truly wonderful thing. So that's awesome.
It is. It's amazing. My eyes were open to a number of different things. It was a terrific event. The only thing that went wrong with our TEDx presentation at Woodstock Arts is it turned out the Atlanta Braves won the World Series that year, and their parade was the same day. We lost about half our audience.
I can see that being disappointing, yes.
Mayor Caldwell, we let him kind of introduce things. What a terrific presence he is for the city of Woodstock. Mayor Enriquez was on the periphery. They were changing their roles at that time. I'm not sure that Mayor Caldwell was actually mayor at that time. I think he might have come in January, but wonderful event, a wonderful experience. I met, again, some fascinating people and learned a lot.
Wonderful. Now, you mentioned in a prior conversation that a lot of your public speaking skills came about really through Toastmasters.
Yeah, I can't say enough about the organization. It was transformational for me. My first Toastmasters meeting never happened because I was too afraid to walk through the door. And I got in my car, I went back home, and I felt like a piece of dirt. Beat myself up for a week. I went the next week, walked through the door, introduced myself, one of the best decisions I ever made. What I learned in Toastmasters is how to tell stories, how to connect with people, how to organize meetings, and most importantly, how to listen, which has been instrumental in my business, your business, anybody's business. I'd have given anything to have this listening skill set when my son was 13, 14, and 15. But he and I now have very good conversations, and most of the time, I listen. And what I have found, if you're a really good listener and you ask a couple of intelligent questions, the other person thinks you're a terrific conversationalist.
Well, I've just started coming to Toastmasters. I've been to 2 meetings so far, and I haven't shaken off my nerves yet to really dig in and do a lot of the speaking in front of folks. So, but that's why I'm joined, because it's important, and your ability to communicate effectively and efficiently is important. So I'm gonna.
Well, keep coming. We have a little saying in Toastmasters: we teach your butterflies to fly in formation. Everybody is nervous.
Okay. So you have a small boutique firm, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what is your favorite memory working with a client?
I think the best memories, there's a bunch of individual memories, but is helping people get their estate plan in marketplace. Nobody really wants to deal with this. They don't fully understand the nature. Estate planning is not for them. It's for those that are left behind. And the line that seems to have worked the most is, trust me, if you screw this up, the people that you leave behind, when they eventually catch up with you, they're going to give you hell. So take care of this now.
Yeah. Okay. So being able to provide your clients with options, with solutions, with let's look at this from different angles.
Yeah.
That's valuable. Absolutely.
It is. And something we haven't touched on, but part of who I am is I was fired from my first 2 corporate jobs. I've been on my own ever since. I've created and run 4 different businesses. I have learned a lot over the years about life, money, and business. And I've learned there's a number of different ways to solve problems. I try and bring that to my financial planning practice, and I think it works pretty well.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I can see that. So what is the next level for your business?
I really want to bring on another advisor, a good fit advisor. I miss having somebody to talk to. And I'm really not a sales machine. I'm kind of a left-brain introvert. I'd love to find somebody that has the heart for financial planning, that enjoys the networking aspect, that enjoys the sales conversation, that enjoys that part of the business. And I have no desire to build an empire, but I'd like to grow my practice, bring on another advisor, and double the business over the next year or so. And just keep providing really solid financial advice, financial planning, and money management for our clients.
Okay. Well, and I love this question for everyone. What is something most people wouldn't know about Mike Sena?
This is a great story. I had a college roommate and fraternity brother. He was from a pretty wealthy family. He had an airplane in college. And as he got out of college, he and another guy, they ended up starting a business restoring World War II aircraft. Okay. And 4 doctors bought a B-17, and we got to work on it to restore it. It took about 2 years. I'm a little guy. I got little hands, little wrists. I could go places not everybody could go to. But my reward was co-piloting this B-17, flying from Hartsfield Airport to the Dobbins Naval Air Station, sitting in the right seat, flying a B-17 bomber. It's a great memory. I'll never forget it.
I bet.
Yeah, it was very cool.
So have you been in any other planes in that kind of capacity since?
Not in a while. My friend, unfortunately, was killed some years ago, and some of that flying experience went away with him. My dad was a pilot in World War II. I like to fly, but it's not a huge thing for me.
Okay. So you like to spend your spare time on horses, I've heard.
Do. Yes, so I do.
Tell me about that.
When I was a kid, younger, I did some competitive show jumping. I got out of horses and played golf with my dad and that kind of stuff. Anyway, when I moved to Cherokee County 20 some odd years ago, a neighbor of mine, the other end of my neighborhood, was a guy named Jack Cashin. He had a place called Chucker Farm. They had a polo field. It's a long story. I could go all day on this, but Jack was nudging me along to learn how to play polo, and I resisted for a number of years, and I finally accepted his offer and put a polo mallet in my hand and started giddy-upping. And it's a wonderful sport. It's a terrific activity. Once again, I met people I wouldn't have met in any other realm of life. And the camaraderie, the athleticism, the competitiveness of playing polo and being on a living, breathing animal that you've really got to be in sync. And I will tell you, most any polo player will tell you, 80% of the game is the horse. If you've got a really good horse, it makes it a lot easier and a lot more fun.
Okay. So tell me, who is Dolly?
Well, Dolly is my horse. I learned how to play polo on Dolly, and I bought her a few years ago. She's a quarter horse. Most polo horses in America are a cross between a thoroughbred and quarter horse, but Dolly's a purebred quarter horse. She's very stocky and stout, and she's not the fastest, she's not the largest, but she'll turn on a dime. I had to retire her this season. She just got too old to play. She's approaching 30.
Wow.
And so now I lease when I can, a horse from somebody else, and I try to play as I can. It's a great way to spend a Saturday or Sunday afternoon.
I'm sure it is.
It is.
It sounds great. What is one nugget of wisdom from your line of work that you would like to share with everyone?
I have to say it is be happy and be grateful to live on less than you make. A number of people spend everything they make, and I find most people like that. They tend to look outside themselves for happiness, for success, for whatever else. Everything that anybody wants in life is all in here. And if you can find a way to be happy and grateful for living on less than you make and invest the rest, a little at a time, get rich quick, never works, almost never, generate wealth over time, and enjoy your life. Be grateful for all the little blessings that you have.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, Mike. Well, how can people find you online?
I'm on Facebook. I'm on LinkedIn. My website is MikeSenaAdvisors.com. Feel free to peruse and learn a little bit more about me and my firm. I hang around Woodstock and Roswell a good bit. You'll find me walking or having a beer at one of the Reformations, either in Woodstock or Canton. The Woodstock Business Club, the Canton Business Club, the Crabapple Business Club, the Roswell Business Club, they're all over. But I enjoy meeting and talking to people, learning new things, and trying to make the most of what I have.
Beautiful. Well, I will have all of his contact information listed on this this video, as well as on the Connecting Cherokee website for his business profile. So make sure you go check him out, like, comment, share, get the word out. And Mike, thank you.
Amber, thank you. What a great pleasure. I appreciate this.
This has been fun. So that is all for today's episode of Connecting Cherokee. Again, I'm Amber Holcomb, Mike Sena, and let me know if you or anyone you know might be interested in being featured on this website. And let me know if you are interested in talking about real estate or my estate transition services. And that's all for today. See you next time. Thank you.
Bye-bye.